Hi everyone, this is Caesar and we're Inspire Movement. Today we're continuing with our segments entitled Word of the Day and exploring the word grudge. So grudge by definition is a persistent feeling of anger or resentment for some past insult or injury. What are you doing when you're holding on to a grudge? Essentially what you're doing is replaying an incident of some past hurt over and over and over again in your mind. But not only doing that, you're also holding on to the emotions that you felt the first time, every single time that you replay that. When you have experienced some form of trauma, that's actually something that happens very frequently, where you replay these incidents over and over in your mind and you don't really have a choice about the matter. But for something that's smaller than a trauma, you do have a choice. That's when it falls under the category of just plainly holding on to a grudge. When you hold on to a grudge, you are in fact increasing your stress levels, and as you do, you're creating a form of negative health effect. You're increasing your heart rate, you're increasing your blood pressure as you basically hold on to these feelings of anger, resentment, sadness, and even betrayal. What happens when something bad happens to you on account of someone doing it to you? Well, the proper thing to do is emote it, right? So you can't be in a rush to forgive. You have to allow yourself the due time to process the pain that you naturally are experiencing over the letdown. How could this person do this to me? How could you do this to me? That's really actually normal. And when we don't do that, we create a disconnect between what we know to be wrong and what we should be feeling. So that leads me into, what is anger and hurt? Anger and hurt are essentially your brain telling you almost via a warning flag, hey, something happened right now. This person did something to me that was not right and not okay, and I'm not loving it. Now, what should happen next is you make that emotional connection and allow yourself to take a break, cry, be vulnerable, and process the emotions that were born out of whatever happened. That is basically what forgiveness is. Forgiveness, which is the step that happens after you're allowed those emotions to, play their role in this whole thing. Letting go of anger, resentment, and any other feelings that surface because you no longer have a need for them. Something happened, you became aware of it, you ratified it with your emotions, and these feelings of anger and resentment, you don't no longer serve a purpose. So why let them linger? Let them go. That's the whole process of forgiveness. So as I personally reflect with this issue of holding on to a grudge, I've experienced at least that when somebody close to you, whether it be somebody that you confide in your inner circle, does something bad to you, that it's maybe easier to hold on to grudges because maybe those feelings are so much stronger. At least that's been my experience. And yes, letting go is very, very difficult. For me personally, as I understand it now, the main difficulty has been that when somebody has in fact hurt me, I haven't really ratified what happened, the wrong that was committed, by emoting it, by giving myself a break, by allowing myself to cry and be vulnerable, and basically, saying, hey, this sucked. This was something that should have never been done to me, and this person should never have done it, but they did. And once you come to that full realization of, hey, this was wrong, the awareness component of it, allow yourself to emote it, then you can naturally begin the process to let go because those feelings are no longer useful, and forgive, right? Maybe you don't forget, but you certainly need to forgive so that you can move on to the next chapter of your life where the grass is definitely greener. So for me, that's definitely been something difficult to process and ascertain, but it's a little bit clearer to me now. So I hope that these reflections are of use to you. And if you have any other words that you want us to explore, please feel free to reach out to us through social media. Also tap into our inspiremovement.com as we continue putting out really cool, relevant information for you going forward. Thank you so much for tuning in to another segment, and I hope that you have a blessed week. Bye-bye.